Okay, so I'm here speaking with Richard Jackson from Alphaletz. I'd like to introduce you today, Richard. Can you let us know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Glad to be invited along today. I really appreciate it. So I'm Richard Jackson. I'm the co-founder of Alphaletz. And Alphaletz is an app for landlords or any property investors out there that are struggling with spreadsheets or homemade systems or do-it-yourself notepads or whatever it might be. We take all that stuff and we put it into one very simple system designed specifically for landlords. And the reason it was founded is because I'm a landlord, have been for many, many years. And this was the exact problem that I had. So I'm also from a technology background. So I lived out in San Francisco in the Bay Area for 9 years and spent all my working life in technology, whilst at the same time I was investing in properties, and I just couldn't find any software that would allow me to run my my business, my property business, in a nice, simple way. So that's what Alphaletz is all about. We took all those systems, we pulled it all together, and we've created a really lovely, I mean, the customer feedback has been great, really lovely, low cost system that anyone can use from a mobile device or a web device as well.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. It's a really nice product that you've built. I love the way that you built something that you know really well. It was a problem that you had managing your property business. So it always is a great way to build a product, having the insight of exactly what's needed, almost as if you're a user yourself. How have you found that process building the product? Do you found it really help knowing the requirements, knowing the industry and the problem inside out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for sure that helped having the background myself, but of course you build it on what you think, you know, as a user. But of course what was really important is to get users' feedback, real customers. And I suppose the real value is, or the most value is in the customers that are prepared to pay for it, because they're the ones that, you know, when you go to the effort of the development, they're actually going to buy it and help scale it up. So that was really important. And of course, there's property investors are very different. You know, you can have some people that specialize in student accommodation, some that do commercial property, some do mixed use, and so on. So we've tried to cater for all these people. And not only just for the UK, but we want to go global with it. So we've now got users signed up in America, Germany, United Arab Emirates, France, and even Australia. We have a few users out there now as well. So we've really tried to create something that would fit everybody's use case. And when I knew that we'd sort of clicked, when those things really started to click, was when we started to get some case studies. So getting the first users was really, really hard, because, you know, you don't have a brand, people don't know who you are. They're trusting you with their data. You know, it's cloud-based system, so there's an element of trust there. And that took a long time, a lot longer than I thought. It was probably a year and a half into the product before we really started to get, you know, some momentum around real users. But then we just lived and breathed with those, you know, whatever they wanted. We were constantly on the phone with them, making sure that we always responded very quickly to their requests. And then, you know, we helped with some special offer. It wasn't really about pricing, because the solution was a good product and it's already low cost, but we would be flexible to help people with that. And then once we built up that trust and that relationship, then we started to look at case studies and then publishing those case studies. And then that helped bring in, you know, more users once we started to build up that confidence in the market.
Yeah, great. I've seen your product evolve since you started, and it looks really great. You have a really fresh and modern looking product. There's a lot of functionality in there that really, you know, solves all the issues that landlords have. I was interested in how you've been acquiring users since you started. So I know you just mentioned case studies as one way, but how did you acquire your early customers in the beginning? What were the activities that made a big impact?
Yeah, that's a good one. I tried a lot of different things actually, and I tried Facebook groups, which have been good and have been useful. We tried some Facebook campaigns which weren't quite as good. I'm not sure why they didn't take off. Maybe it was a little bit too early for Facebook for us.
Are those ads?
Yeah, Facebook ads. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I found Google ads have been good. That's been helping us. But I think some of the turning points were I worked pretty hard on finding sort of landlord organizations and magazines and so on. And eventually, after pounding the phones for a long time, I got a journalist to call me back, and he was looking to do a review on a software company for landlords. So we managed to get ourselves written up in a review. And that was a real trigger point for us, because people started to read about us. They saw the review. We had a case study from one of our early customers as well as part of the review. And that really helped us gain some credibility in the market. So I'd say that was probably one of the first early things. And then as soon as we had that, we started to advertise in more landlord specific groups, and anything that, I mean, we're still learning, to be honest. We're still looking for new opportunities, but that's been really good. And then the other thing I'm trying to do also is create more partnerships. So I'm looking for sort of complementary businesses like insurance companies and mortgage companies and anyone that's associated to the landlord, property buy-to-let industry. And I know, for example, with mortgages, there's a massive mortgage business. It's worth something like 60 billion pounds just in the UK, just in renewals this year in 2022. So I think there's a lot of potential for partnerships there that can help us, reach a wider base as well.
Yeah. It sounds that you've taken a really smart approach, which is leveraging audiences, or communities and audiences where you'll find your ideal customers. And that seems like a smart way to get that reach out there. So you said it's been things like articles, publishing articles, content and advertising.
Yeah, that's been helpful.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to get those because everybody wants the big brands and big names, and we're a small company that's really getting momentum now. But when we were trying to get those early reviews, nobody had really heard about us. But once we got the first one, then that really helped get the momentum going. And I still think that's the key. We have had 2 or 3 other reviews since then as well, which has created more momentum and more opportunities. But that's certainly been a tipping point for us doing something.
Yeah, I guess there's a process of building authority and trust, and once you get that ball rolling, then you can get access to bigger audiences and
I haven't done as much on SEO. I'm in 2 minds about SEO. Some people say you should do a lot with it, and other people say get your content right first, get your copywriting done right first, and then people will start to come to you, and that will drive your SEO. And then other people say, you should start it now, because it takes about 6 to 12 months to build it. So, but we haven't really spent any specific money on SEO as such, but I am starting to think about that now, because when you search for us, there's loads of content specifically for Alphaletz. But if you're looking there's so many different terms for property investing and property buy-to-lets, or just general investments, that to try and get picked up in the right categories can be a bit of a challenge.
I see. Yeah. It sounds like you've done some great work on audiences, and SEO could potentially be a strong channel for you. It always seems that each channel takes more effort than you anticipate at first, but once you have, you can almost build them in step by step, build them as blocks.
Yeah.
You have your first channel, and then you work on to towards building your next. With that said, thinking about the future, what are your plans for Alphaletz going forward? I know you just mentioned the mortgage sector, so I wondered if you're thinking of expanding in sectors, or generally, what's your vision for the business?
Yeah, we are actually. We, in fact, in the app, we're just partnered with a company called My Constructor in the UK, and what these guys have is lots of services for not actually just for landlords, but it just happens that their products fit very well into the landlord market. So things like cleaning services, end of tenancies, oven cleaning, upholstery, and so on. We've just put them into, they're the first step into our marketplace, which is now incorporated in the app. And I think that fits a lot of bills for us, because one, it helps the partnership side, so we can build on our partnerships with My Constructor. But also, what I really want to do is create a platform, not actually just for landlords, but for anyone in the rental business. So that could be the landlords, the tenants, tradespeople, partners, and products and services. And I mean, I would really like Alphaletz to become sort of like the QuickBooks of, like QuickBooks has established themselves as the sort of product for SMEs all over the world, for accountants. I'd like to do the same with Alphaletz. I think we can go global. I think we've got an app which is really suitable for a very wide market. It's simple to use. Feedback's great. It seems to be a delightful user experience from the feedback we've had from users. So that's really our plan, to build this thing up as big as we possibly can and be a global platform.
Fantastic. I love the ambition, and it's been great, like I mentioned, to see what you're doing. Thanks for sharing that with us. The product is looking great, and I think you have a really good focused SaaS there. So it's really nice that the ability to share that and let other founders see what you're working on.
Thanks,
Richard, how can people check out what you're doing or stay up to date with Alphaletz and what you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, of course, go to our the Alphaletz website. Everything, we try and keep everything up to date on here. We also have all the social media channels, so YouTube, I'm constantly putting new videos out. LinkedIn, of course, and the usual, all the social media, Facebook and so on. Or just drop us a line at info@alphaletz.com, and either myself or one of the team will get back normally within an hour or two. If it's middle of the night, then it'll be the next morning, but we're normally pretty prompt. So yeah, we'll just drop us a line there, and we'd love to get back to people.
Brilliant stuff. Thanks again for joining us.